line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
For the final time this season for the Truck Series, they will go at it one-on-one with 4 drivers going for a championship, everybody else looking to make their season ending a happy one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the championship race for GOAT Racing League Truck Series live at Phoenix Raceway in Evandale, Arizona. I am your host, the Crusader Christian Shire, joining you guys here today here as we are ready to get to the championship race. All is on the line. No stage points, no nothing. Go big, go for broke. That is what they're going to do today. We'll get to our top 4 drivers here in just a moment, but ladies and gentlemen, take a look at our starting lineup here now on the show, on the pole. In the number 70, it is the gold standard himself, Aaron Smith, in the 70 outside. And the number 43 is Samuel Harrell. Row number 2 is going to be Dakota Kramer in the 42. The outside in the 12, it's Action Man Aaron, Action Jackson. Row number 3 is Christoph Hall. And then number 98, on the outside of number 24, it is Cody Sturgill. Row number 4 is Justin Reynolds. On the 94, the outside, number 8 is Maurice Burnett. Row number 5 is Russell Ottaway in the 89. With the outside, in the number 36, that is Richard Crane. Row number 6, David Scott pilots it in the number 31. The outside of him, in the number 23, there's Charles Van Schaik. Row number 7, that will be piloted down by Philip Schmitz. And the number 18, the outside, in the number 97, it is Jeff Ramsdell. And finally, in the final row, your shotgun in the field, that 93 is Bud Shearer. Your field of drivers marches to the line. 4 enter for the title. Only 1 comes out the champion from the playoff rounds. This is the final round of 4. Somebody takes home the title here today. And under the night lights at Phoenix Raceway, we send it on down to the green flag. In this championship race, we're going to look at it with 3 stages. The first one, stage 15, lap 35 will be stage 2. And then we will go 40 laps to the distance for the title. In your final main event, Aaron Smith, Aaron Jackson, Charles Van Schaik, and Bud Shearer are your final 4 going for the title. All eyes are going to be on those 4 drivers, but the gold standard right now has their lead. Moving them down back to the chains, though. A little bobble there from Russell Ottaway in the 89 will slow down his pace for the moment, getting him back under control with the rest of the field. Aaron Jackson moving a spot up already, trying to get around Samuel Harrell in the 43. Harrell's not going to make it easy to let him pass on by. Aaron Smith definitely knows he's going to have his hands full all night long with the company that he's going to be brought up, what he's going to be dealing with. You know, these guys are trying to take him down and trying to take away a title he has not won in quite some time. The last time Smith won the title, of course, was back on the Thursday night edition of the IROC Series. He won that championship via the Xfinity Series. And he told me earlier today that since then he has not been to the top of the mountain in a little while. He's looking to change that today with this performance in this race ahead of him. For Aaron Jackson, Charles Van Schaik, and Bud Shearer, of course, this means so much more to them. They have not had as many wins as the 70 truck. They haven't been in victory lane nearly as much in the other divisions as perhaps they would like to. And today, they're going to try and push their limits and push themselves to new heights just to make or break their season. For the other guys like Samuel Harrell, though, really this is more of a redemption season ending. This is more of kind of show what their cause was and what their drive was throughout to make sure that everyone knows next season they will be championship threats throughout. Christoph Hall right now kind of slinging it back on the inside, trying to find a run there wherever he may possibly try to. Still hasn't really gotten the momentum or the attention I think really he was expecting. And then number 12, Aaron Jackson. But again, it is early, and these drivers, those 550 horsepower packages, have obviously a little bit more dirty air to have to work around, and also the tire wear being extremely tremendous. The track like this Phoenix Raceway. Harrell still trying to corner the inside off from the dog leg, trying to get around Aaron Smith, but Smith not letting him breathe very much. Wow, in the back of the pack here right now, David Petzel-Scott having a little bit of company as the 31 goes head-to-head with the 18 of Bill Schmitz. Scott trying to dig it into the inside, trying to dig in a little more and dive in deeper so he can get a chance at it, but just no run or no area to get away from. Allows the 18 of Philip Schmitz to maintain and keep his game. Again, Phoenix Raceway, not a huge passing zone kind of track. This track, in my opinion, more or less more designed and studied as a kind of a fight your way in system. You have to really find openings when you can and make sure you make the best runs when you got a chance. Otherwise, it's almost extremely difficult just to get any kind of momentum carried over or really any kind of run throughout these corners, throughout these turns. And that's not a dig at the drivers. The problem is, again, we're literally talking about a track that has very sharp angle turns in a very tight section. where you're having to look around to the field trying to look through the rest of the corners here. There's just not a lot of openings, not a lot of areas for breathing. Rolling up on our first stage here, Aaron Smith, the gold standard, with a good lead for now anyway, but it's not going to last him. We're on 12 laps 75. This is probably going to be their biggest shootout race they have got to fight for all season long, and for that matter, it's really due to the fact that because only 75 laps at Phoenix is not a elongated number, but it is enough to still force drivers to have to find corners and have to find runs where they can, and Harrell showing you can topple the gold standard if you catch to him in time. Smith driving it deep on the outside though. Harrell trying to make the move and the advantage off, but can't quite get to him just yet. Smith back down into the middle and into the bottom. Harrell backs off, couldn't get to him, doesn't want to hit him yet. You don't want to mess up a playoff driver, a championship driver that will come back to haunt you in another season or another day. Believe me, I've been there and done that before. And the thing is, the more Harrell battled with Smith, the easier it gets for Aaron Jackson to kind of have some time to think about what he's going to do when he has to get to him and make a run on both of them. Harrell, though, looks like he may have overdrove just a little bit too much, and now seems to have given Smith all the time in the world to breathe and catch his breath. Roll them off through 3 and 4. One more lap remains in stage 1. Aaron Smith once again showing he's not going to back down from the fight. He's not going to back off from anybody as the battles rage on from behind with Dakota Kramer and Christoph Hall. Aaron Smith is going to have one last little fight here from the 43 of Samuel Harrell. Dives it in deep looking for the corner. Won't get it this time. It's going to be Aaron Smith taking stage number 1. Now again, stage points do not matter, stage wins do not matter, nor do they really care. You know what stage they care about? That final stage win. But what these stages are going to do, they're going to show the drivers they're going to have a lot on their plate because they got to figure out where is the shots, where is the time to strike, and where is going to be the momentum to carry through on in certain areas, certain corners. I believe also with that fuel mileage and those tire wears, that can definitely affect the race entirely for them if they don't try to watch their backs or watch their cornering here. Two names that were not in the top spots there for the round of 4 drivers, Charles Van Schaik and Bud Shear. Hard to say what their strategy will pinpoint down to, but Aaron Smith and Aaron Jackson seem to have gotten whatever they're thinking right out of the gate perfectly aligned to the strategy that it's going to take to win. However, we have only just begun our show here today, and we've only just begun the chaos that is going to ensue here in the show. So who knows where this will take us, and who knows where we'll go from here. All we do know is expect the unexpected. And the field is going to park him out on pit road. Ramsdell stays on out, so he'll have the advantage for now. Smith, Harrell, Jackson pretty much coming out same places. Hall and Kramer had a great little fight out there on the last bit of laps. And Kramer's one of those guys, man, we watched it all season long. If he can get it going and he can get you right up to him, he'll definitely push some pressure on you. But the problem, in my opinion, is he struggles to really maintain that throughout the race day. And what I mean by that is, of course, he just needs to start knowing when to hit the spots and knowing when to back off from them. Ryan Cook saying, let's go Sammy Harrell and the rest of Team 43. Ryan, thanks for tuning on in here. We're going to double file him in now. It is time to bring him back to the restart zone and begin stage number 2. We have been a part of this league and this crew here for a little while, and I can tell you, Go Racing League does not disappoint sometimes. They will bring you some moments you just cannot help but admire and adore. And I believe their season about to open up again with the Trucks Xfinity Series as well. So if you guys are interested, I highly recommend looking them up. Nevertheless, we're going to hustle them down off the back stretch. Field rolls off. Ramsdale will start them up as we lead them off to the green flag restart zone. It's time to go back at it. Stage number 2 in the championship race. Well, it played out the start you'd think it would. Ramsdale slow off the gate. Tires wore and tore, but defends off a few guys. Jackson trapped in the mix of it. Smith with the early lead. Christoph Hall kind of going in there as well, looking for some openings. They bring him marching down to the inside. Look at this Ramsdale, though. He's not making it easy on Smith. He's actually coming right back for him here. Doesn't matter if you're a championship driver or not, it appears. It looks like if you're up front, you're fresh meat to them. Ramsdale trying to make a move off. He's had a pretty good season for his own case when it comes to the podiums. Came without a win, though. He's looking to try to change that. Actually, I take that back. I think he might have one win to his name this season. But he's looking to change just one and turn it into 2s to prove it's not a one-hit wonder. Although I can tell you just from viewing him and myself racing him a few times in the officials, he is nowhere near that. He's a tough competitor and a tough driver to really get around, and one of those guys that you got to keep your eye on no matter where you go or where you come from, because they will kind of catch you when you least expect it. For the entire duration so far this race, Smith has yet to lose a lap led, except for Ramsdale's laps on caution. Under green, though, Smith has taken Ramsdale for the loop and taken him for the ride, and the rest of the field trying to just kind of catch up with him. As you see a little puff of smoke coming off down off the turn number 2 there. Slight little tap there for the A-Shock number 8 Chevrolet Silverado. Maurice Burnett has some serious damage up on that machine as Charles Van Slyke jumps ahead. The only Ford out of the track today, trying to get the Roush 23 SpongeBob machine ahead into the fight. Man, Ramsdale, I don't know if he's just trying to make sure that Smith is caught on his toes or kept on his foot or what, but he's putting it straight near and dear to the 70, and he's not letting him up whatsoever. I'm not so sure, though, it's the smartest thing to do or the smartest move to really be at. But again, as a driver, there's no such thing as a smart move versus a dumb move. It's always, what's the best way to get me ahead, or what's the best racing area I can go before I get myself into trouble? Well, so far he hasn't done anything to get himself in trouble unless you're a playoff driver. Then Jackson may have some other words for you. Maybe got a little bit blocked there out of the gate, got trapped into that traffic there, and that's what ended up kind of costing him some speed and much needed momentum to keep up with the field. Rolling up here with about 10 laps remaining here before stage break comes again. Lap 35 is our stage end here. Smith, Jackson, Van Slyke, and Bud Shearer, the championship 4. 2 of which have been kind of stuck in the mid-pack into the bottom pack. The other 2 have been literally running up front for most of this duration. Bud Shearer, though, in the 93 seems to be getting a little bit more confident. He's up 5 spots, started dead last, he's moving into 10th, and he's looking to try to make some more moves here. You gotta be thinking too, is Van Slyke and Bud Shearer, are they trying to hide something from the other 2? Are they trying not to let them in on a little secret? Are they maybe trying to do the fuel run strategy? Are they maybe trying to see how well the tires will hold up if they just take it easier or really wear them in? let the other drivers wear themselves out, and then come up on the attack. It's hard to say, really, and it's a very interesting little predicament to be put into if you're not too careful. We're going to have to see which one wins out and which one gets the better of the other. Still dead even off the lock there, coming down through the corners. Every driver for themselves, no one giving an inch to the other. Dakota Kramer and Christoph Hall, they still been battling out since the end of stage one. They're still going at it right now. Perfection, a tremendous performance here by the drivers. The rest of the field kind of keeps their cool, keeps their head clean as can be. Good onboard camera here from Cody Sturgill. You watch Justin Reynolds in the 94 put the RBS machine up into the fight. Reynolds this season, he had a chance to get it into the final round of 4, but unfortunately couldn't catch the brakes when he needed to. And I think on one occasion actually had literally had the worst luck for an ending of the race, getting tossed out by just a flake caution. He's desperately trying to stay focused and trying to hit his line off as much as he can and keep everything under control. We're coming up with about 5 laps remaining here in the stage. And honestly, I'm going to be glad when we get that final stage out of the way, because this final stage, in my opinion, is going to show you guys who truly deserves this championship run. Because it's going to force everybody on fuel and tires eventually to go in or take control themselves. It'd only be a mile long in length to really test some drivers' patience and even further test their mentalities to some whole new limits. The onboard camera here at Charles Van Schaik right now, as he's currently in the top 10, trying to find and muscle his way through. Number 24, Cody Sturgill on the Hobbit Silverado, keeping his distance and keeping the pressure on. Momentum lingering in as we're coming further and further to the halfway point. Christoph Hall way deep on the outside, trying to make a run for it as Bud Shearer goes deep in there for the corner off. 8 spots now for the 93 RBS crew. And Christoph almost taking a piece of a championship 4 driver. Thankfully had the presence of mind to back out of it before it was too little too late. Charles Van Schaik though, almost gets into it. Cody Sturgill as well here. Drivers are not making it easy for these guys to catch up, and Van Schaik's starting to put a little bit of momentum down. 1 more lap to go. Aaron Smith coming off of turn number 2. The number 70 has looked absolutely dominant this start of this race. And he is going to do it again off of turn number 4. Aaron Smith wins stage 2. So now, 2 stages down, 1 final one to go. Pit road is going to be very interesting here. You're going to see a lot of drivers going to have to figure out when and what is going to be their perfect opportunity to take and what they're going to be needing to take here. In my opinion, this is going to really hound them a bit and give them some openings here. Well, Ramsdale, in my opinion, was kind of the wild card on that one. Harrell was kind of the wild card in stage 1 on Smith, but this time it was Ramsdale that had a bit of a wild card play there on Smith and Harrell, as well as Jackson early on. Kind of throwing everybody for a bit of a loop there and not really knowing what was going to happen here as we go to our sky cam here. Watch carefully. Waiting to see who gets out of pit road first. Ramsdell, he's coming up. Oh, it's close, but he's not going to get Smith. They'll move it back into second place. Harrell and Jackson going to be back in their spots as well. Jackson, in my opinion, if he wants to win this championship, he's going to need to start making some serious maneuvers. Charles Van Schaik and Bud Shear, they have learned their lessons as well. They're now in the mid-pack. Shear, hard charger, the award winner. So far, 8 spots up. Could be the ultimate hard charger if it wasn't for Jeff Ramsdell going 12 spots up. He started 14th, by the way, tonight. I'm not sure what got into that DuPont 97 Silverado, but Ramsdell is flying it off the wheels today. The Pace Trucks lights are off for the last time this season from a stage break. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready, and you are ready to get down to business here, this is your final stage for the final time in the Truck Series of 2022 for the GOAT Racing League. We rip them around through corner number 4 to the restart zone. The championship is on the line. It's time to crown a title winner. Here we go. 36 laps to the distance. And trouble's already ensuing. Cody Sturgill has come to a dead stop in the 24 on the front straightaway. Our first caution of the day. Bit of a wild little start there, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if Cody just found himself kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place, or maybe he just did it to himself here. He didn't have got the line. There you see, there he spins it right on his own there. Cody can't be too happy about himself there, unfortunately, knowing that was a big mistake on his end. I could say if he misshifted, I know that feeling. I'm really working with a brand new shifter myself right now. Yeah, there it is, right there in the misshift. As soon as it fired, you can hear the engine just roar, and the RPM's way, way too high, and tire spin a brew. And so our first caution today here, that'll slow everybody back up to a crawl and see what happens from here. My opinion, definitely not what anybody wanted to speculate or see out of the gate. I think a lot of drivers are expecting to kind of rip them around and let them go right from the start. We have now double filed the field back into position. These drivers now have got their hands cut out for them. They've got some work to do, as they know they're going to have to start pushing some pedals straight down into the metal, looking for performance, looking for a start. We're going to lead them back down off the corner ends here and get them ready to go. As we get them down the back straight away, How will the drivers fare on this restart, and who can make or break the start here? Off the distance out of turn number 3 to turn number 4 here. We're going to bring him to the front straightaway. Off to the green flag restart zone. Smith with the advantage. Advantage Smith, 3 wide in, deep off the corner. All drivers looking for openings. Jaron Jackson, the recipient of losing more ground, the one that gained the most ground even for the championship driver. Well, it happens to be the 93 of Bud Shearer. Oh, and Shearer overdriving it right off the front straightaway here off turn 4, slams the wall in the front end, and he loses all that ground. He overdrove the corner, and they're just gift wrapping Aaron Smith's victory. If they keep playing games like this, they cannot let that happen. They have got to stay in the clear. Smith does not make easy mistakes like that. He will make sure he makes you cost that. And David Pencil-Scott, the 31, wrecks it out on the back stretch. He's trying to get it refired quickly. He will get it refired before the drivers make it to him. No caution. It remains green. And more smoke burrowing over down off of turn number 2. You can see the drivers getting a little hesitant, getting a little bit out of control there, right down the inside. Look at Jackson. Throws a haymaker at Ramsdale. And now Jackson maybe looking to try to finish this season out on a high note, coming for the number 70. Samuel Rell stands in between his way and the 7, and then his gold standard fight. Charles Van Sykes still stuck in the 11th spot right now. Look at Harrell. He's going diving in deep. He's looking for it. He's going for it all. Trying to force Smith to make a bobble, make an error. Jackson coming for him here into the inside. They'll line it down into the corner here. Dead even. Smith drifting up a little bit. Jackson trying to burrow the momentum. He sees an opportunity. Harrell couldn't get to him there. Smith using a bit of a momentum and also using a little bit of the corner offs to help him face Harrell head to head. But unfortunately for him, the Glitch Graphic Gremlins have other plans for Smith right now. They're on the attack on him, and he's on the defensive with everybody else. Jackson out of the inside. Harrell trying to maneuver the truck around. He's got company on the inside. He's on the outside where Jackson was doing good earlier over him. We'll see if he can do the same as Jackson's trying to make a move on him. He's going for the inside, trying to pass down low, trying to get the left front to click in just enough to the right front and then grip the center. He couldn't get it. He not that time anyway. The outside's going to be a bit better here, but how much is that tearing up the truck, I wonder? He's got to be using up a bit just to get around that turn and then having a corner off hard. That's where Jackson messes up. And look at Harrell. Throws a crossover deep to the inside. He's got Smith right on his corner panel. And Jackson just saw a big opening to try to make a move off from it, but he wasn't quite able to capitalize either. For most of the season, Smith hasn't really had to go on offense. He's been playing defense for most of it. He knows how to play this game. This is how he's won a championship before. Probably the least bit worried about what's going on behind him. Probably more focused on just staying under control, staying under the pressure. And look at this, Bud Shearer. Where did the 93 come from? Oh my, hang on down there. Shearer is just shearing up some speed. He sheared some paint off, and now he's looking to bring it back to the house. He's up for a fight. He's up for a scruffle. And he's got everybody in his sights for the championship four. Harrell will not let Smith get away so easily. But Smith has got the key to it all. He knows what they're trying to do, but as soon as they try to catch him on the inside, he just jumps back to the outside and forces the drivers to have to find another way to calculate a move. Well, looks like Harrell's trying to capitalize on him for doing that, but Smith, as soon as he gets back down low, he almost immediately throws him into the dirty air and then costs him dearly. Jackson trying to draft the 43 right back at him, though. Just neck and neck and neck. Either driver make a mistake. One wrong move from the 70 though, and that could literally be the end of his season. Harrell though knows that if he can get the move, he'll make it work. He dives it in deep again, and he's still flooring it, but Smith just will not budge. Look at the eyes right now on Jackson, man. He is like a man possessed, focused on only one goal. His eyes tell the tale. They tell a story. Gonna dive it in deep. Jackson throws a harder throw at the 43. He's trying to mope the momentum, but the more they battle, the more they're giving Smith plenty of time to react to it. Either Harrell needs to back off or Jackson's got to let him by. Jackson won't let him through. They're giving Smith, though, plenty of room and time to keep moving the chains. They can't keep doing this, and Shearer knows that, too. That's why he's trying to get ahead of both of them now. If you give them an opportunity to have at it and take over, they will do just that. And look at Shearer, 3 deep, into the inside. Shearer going for the soft spot. Still 3 deep into the middle zone. Jackson costs up over the 43, but does get around him. And Shearer with a good drive off. I think the 93 has a little bit more momentum than Smith right now, but the problem is that Smith may be conserving the tires and letting himself catch on. Everybody right now just trying to get ahead and move it into evasive action. Well, it looks like Harrell's constant battling might have slowed him up too much. Or did it? He just won't give it up. Him and Justin Reynolds going at it right now. Both guys in a great little fight out. David Pencil-Scott slowing down, trying to stay out of the way of the drivers. Got to be careful though. Slow down too much. You get the caution thrown out. Maintain speed. Well, here Jackson, he's actually clutching in and out, actually shifting between gears. And right now, this is exactly what he wants to see. The sea of green is no longer there. Jackson is not catching him. Not at the moment. Another good lap for Smith. Another 600ths of a second gain. 67,000 of a second on that one. Dakota Kramer, Christoph Hall going to go back at it a little bit. West Charles Van Schaik watches on. His hopes and dreams of a championship hunt could be done and over with in the Truck Series, but reminder, we will see him Saturday night as he will come back to us for one last fight in the championship round of 4. He may lose the Truck Series championship, but he's still got a Cup championship laying in wait. And I think that's the one everybody wants, including him. Shearer and Jackson right now probably wondering why did they wait so long, or why did we get trapped so quickly into these messes or into these battles, letting Smith just kind of stay ahead of him. Harrell though, I mean, if you're the 43 camp, the only thing you can tell yourself is you did everything you could to fight off for that win. The win means more to these guys than you can even imagine. It's something special. It's something we all cater for. We want to do. We wouldn't be going out here and racing if we didn't want to win. There are those random drivers out there that I kind of call the oddities, if you will, where they like to just go out and race. They don't really care about winning. They just like to go out here, put them side by side, put bumpers together, fenders together, and just have a little fun. And honestly, I've been there and done that too. If I don't really need a win, then I won't really try to go any crazier than just having a little fun with these guys. But at the same time, I'll be the first to admit, it's easy to just kind of change that strategy from hero to zero in less than a second if you know for sure something triggers you to do it. And really, just being up that close up front, I think it's what Harrell had thought, to make those charges, to make those moves, and try to go for broke when he could. Sadly, though, it did not work out in his favor here as we're down to the final 10 laps coming up. 11 laps left to go right now. Field moving their way to pass lap traffic here. Maurice Burnett up on the top side trying to stay out of the way. As the rest of the field kind of maneuver their way through the change. Bud Shearer going to go back into the 4th spot. Sammy Orell is back in 3rd. He's trying to make a run for it here. John Ramsdale and Justin Reynolds also in good contention. I kind of wonder too, did that caution at the very beginning of the race for the final stage, did that actually give the fuel run mileage a little bit of an easier gap? Oh! For the drivers, they kind of have to work around because it seems like nobody's having to go into pit road unless they were under the caution. And I haven't heard anybody have to clutch these trucks in, so it tells me kind of a lot of what I need to know, which is, generally speaking, they were more agitated and more centered around just trying to get in and out on the racetrack when they were under caution and then focus on the rest on the track. Justin Reynolds and Christoph Hall still neck and neck here, trying to get past one another. Christoph and Reynolds really putting on a good battle throughout these shows and throughout these showcases here. One of the virtual racing school's best drivers, looking to show why he's always been there and he's always had the contention to fight. Jackson will not give up though. He was at it last week. He wants to go back at it this week and hope for the best. Ramsdale as well, earlier on we talked about him being kind of that wild card, if you will, for everybody that had to deal with him. I think it was pretty interesting to see just kind of where he played out his strategy, where he kind of parked everybody around. He didn't seem to really mind too much, running these guys as hard as he could and really finding a way around the place. But since then, he's been kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place, just trying to find some angles or find some areas to really hit around. If there's one thing Sammy Harrell can take away from tonight, though, without a doubt, it is the fact that he was able to battle it out with some of the toughest and the best drivers in the Truck Series today. He left nothing on the table. And to come away here with the podium, if he finishes where he's at right now, I guarantee you he'll be one happy camper. 5 laps now, turning into 4 laps to go. Smoke still kind of brewing for some of these drivers out here, getting into it closer as they go. Charles Van Slyke, Bud Shearer, they're making a great comeback trail fight here. Shearer earlier on coming as close as second, almost got third away though. Shearer almost coming into second place. But just still wasn't quite able to finish out his run. With 4 now, we're going to chop it down to even one more lap. 3 to go. Look at Van Slyke now, straight to the inside. Got him off of turn 4. Ramsdale trying to see if maybe he can kind of get back into there. He won't have time though. Depending on how bad that right front is burned up, that'll give Ramsdale time to breathe. But Van Slyke seems like he's going to hang in there a little bit. They are dead even. Drag racing it right off too. Past the dog leg though. It is the 97 Ramsdale taking control of it. We got 2 more laps to go. And wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Richard Crane has come to a stop, and a problem there for the 31 of David Pencil Scott as we got the 2 to go. Oh no. Oh my. You know what that means, folks. A green-white checkered is upon us. Aaron Smith has got to be bewildered and beside himself, thinking he just had this championship locked up. Now he's going to have to play the ultimate defense with some hungry championship 4 drivers behind him. Here's what happened. Cody Sturgill and Richard Crane, both drivers colliding with one another, coming off of turn number 2. David Pencil-Scott trying to evade. Didn't have time and got it into the 8 of Maurice Burnett. We'll take one more look at it here from the chopper cam. Crane and Sturgill. I don't know if maybe it looked like from my end Sturgill drove up on him. Crane looked like he had the run set cured. But now this has completely flipped everything on its head. And guess what? These drivers are going into pit road right now. They were not enough fuel mileage on them. But Bud Scherer and Jeff Ramsdale think they do. Bud Scherer may have just found a way to take it home, but he's going to have to survive 2 laps to get one green-white checkered. Watch the top 5 on your screen. Smith and Jackson battle hard off pit road. It's Smith who gets the better of Jackson. Harrell will move it into the third spot out. Reynolds, Kramer, Van Schaik. But Bud Scherer, did he just score an upset? We're about to find out. He's going to need to watch the fuel. He's going to have to be very careful. He cannot overdrive a corner. He cannot underdrive a corner. He's going to have to defend off Smith and Jackson with everything that's left and that 93 and still get it across the finish line to win. I don't know how much fuel is in that 93. I just know he is playing on very, very thin ice right now. The lights drop. The next time on by, lights will drop off. We're going to set these drivers on to the final legs. Is Scherer having to go into pit road, though? Every lap we go around, that hurts the fuel even more. Ramsdale, he looks like he's going to have to go in. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's going to play mind games with him. He did not have to go to pit road. Looks like he's just trying to shorten the track out for his fuel. Lights should be flickering off this next go, and for the first time today, we're going to have to see the 70 in offense. He played defense this entire time. Now an offensive strategy going to be put to use. The top 4 entering into this championship race was in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th respectively. Aaron Smith, Aaron Jackson, Charles Van Schaik, and Bud Scherer. Could the Cinderella story from the outhouse to travel to the highest point of the White House to castle his kingdom? Is Bud Scherer going to get this championship trophy? Or will Aaron Smith hang on and play the best offense he's going to have to play all season round to take it home? One green-white checkered attempt. This is their only opportunity. If we go caution, it's over. Whoever is in the highest position out of the 4 is the champion. The time has come. It's time to crown a GOAT Racing League 2022 Truck Series champion. Off of turn number 4, Bud Scherer looking for the start of his career and the ending to it all. Green is out. Smith coming for him. Christoph Hall had problems out of the gate. Crashed out. No caution. Smith deep on the outside. Scherer driven by. He didn't get enough of it. Smith controls the lead. Scherer looks like he might be out of fuel or running out of tire. Either way, white flag is high in the air. Many weeks we've patrolled, many days we've come and gone. The wreck behind, but it doesn't matter. The gold standard returns to his winning ways. The championship belongs to Aaron Smith. And the emotions running high as he finally closes off a hard fought race. Well, he's about to do something we haven't seen in a while here, folks. He's going to go visit a little place we call Victory Lane. There he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it. He'll put her into Victory Lane, literally and figuratively. Aaron Smith, the gold standard, lives up to the nickname, lives up to the height. What a championship reign he will be given this season. He's done it. Having to literally fight his way around and ahead of Jackson and ahead of Shearer. He takes home the win. Aaron Jackson will go second. Ramsdale will take third. Charles Van Schaik strongly fighting his end to its ends meet going fourth. Dakota Kramer will go fifth. Philip Schmitz goes sixth. Seventh to Cody Sturgill. Samuel Harrell will go eighth. Ninth to Russell Ottaway. And Richard Crane takes 10th. What a performance. What a performance. And the thing is now, it is time to kind of close the night out. Let's listen into your top 3 drivers now as they're about to join me here in the booth. It has been a long day, and another podium awaited here for Jeff Ramsdell. He'll take home third today. Congratulations on that one, Jeff. And another podium, I believe in the last 5 weeks you've had about two or three of them in total. Man, this one's got to be worth another look in and really finishing this season out on a high note. Oop, hold on, folks.
Let's test.
It ain't your fault,
Can you hear me?
Ramsdale. Yeah, we can hear you. It's the problem is I got this thing on a push talk. Now we got it.
I gotcha.
I had it on push talk. Well,
Hello.
Ramsdale, once again, another trip, another victory. This one's got to be worth quite a bit here for everything you had to put this one through today, hasn't it?
Well, it wasn't a victory, but it's
Well,
a top 3.
well, top 3
End of the season here in the podiums is it's pretty good. Speaking with you.
Yeah, I was about to say I've kind of messed up on that end, but yeah, kind of a podium end here. Not quite a victory is what I was meaning to say, but hey, at the end of the day, you've had like 3 out of the 5 last times we've seen you here. Put on a show, put on a fight to the end. How difficult was it though for you and this crew just to even kind of hang in there with the last laps and the final ends there with this crew?
Yeah, the first stage I was trying to save some tires and gain track position there at the stage. I gained it, finished second. Stayed up front most of the race. I kind of let the championship drivers go by me there in the middle of the race there, just to let them hash it out. And they were falling off, so I was trying to get them back, but the tires were worn. Stayed out there hoping for a quick caution, and but I'll take a third place. I wasn't expecting a third place after sitting out there on old tires. I was expecting a 5th or 6th, but top 3 is good.
For sure there. Well, man, I'm going to ask you, bud. It's been a long road to this end, but you have finished in third. Who do you want to thank you for that?
It is. It's always a long road, long racing. Good racing against all these drivers. I thank Charles for putting on this league, you for putting on the broadcast. Special thanks to my girlfriend for all she does, and thank the guys that are in the pits and the crew there, David, Philip, and Richard. All have fun racing, and hope we'll do it again next year.
We certainly hope to see you back next year here, Jeff. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too, ladies and gentlemen. The third place finisher today, Jeff Ramsdell, going to come away in a pretty tight little spot here, as he'll have to give way to the second place man now of Aaron Jackson and Jackson You lived up to the nickname. You kept the action at hand, kept it high on the charts, but it wasn't enough today, buddy.
Yeah, Aaron Smith's just way too fast. I just couldn't catch him, and then getting held up behind cars here and there. Sammy raced me pretty hard for a few laps there and chewed up some tire, and it's just a tough track. I spent the last 20 laps shifting in both ends of it, trying to catch him.
Trying to catch him,
So
indeed. I want to kind of ask you this too, real quick. Didn't mean to kind of cut you off, but I mean, you got trapped between traffic more often than not. If you weren't stuck between traffic and it was just a one-on-one between you and Smith, would this have been getting closer, or do you feel like it would still have been kind of his to lose?
I think it still would have been his to lose. He's just fast. I mean, there's a reason this is his 11th win of the season. I mean, he's just fast. It would have been. I think it would have been closer, but I think he still would have outdrove me. Honestly, I'm happy. I mean, ran the season, missed a couple races here and there, still finished second in the points, second in the championship. Can't complain. You know, happy with that, and we'll move to Thursday in Xfinity and see if I can get one there.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, hey, man, at the end of the day, you still come away with a solid end to the season and second overall and in second in the race. Who do you want to thank for this?
The rest of my teammates that ran with me this year, and there's a couple that don't. Ron Walsh, Brandon Burkhart, John Vanderwall, Ricky Uding, um, Dakota Ehrman. Those guys helped me a ton. We run a lot of open setup stuff, and they're great at building setups, and they just helped me a ton and making me faster and getting used to racing around people. And my mom and dad, my mom watches every race, so always happy to have her out there and rooting me on. And not Bud, but Charles for putting on the league and all the sponsors that he's got, which are way too many to name, but all those guys. And it was a good season. I appreciate it.
Great season indeed. Nevertheless, Jackson, congratulations, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for broadcasting for us.
Absolutely. Aaron Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, brings the action at hand, but must fall today to the one and only of the gold standard himself. Aaron Smith returns, and he comes back with a fiery vengeance in the championship race. Smith, 11 wins, a first place here at Phoenix, and a first place in the title holder. You have become the season champion, sir. How does this feel?
That feels pretty good. I was a little worried coming into tonight since Phoenix is one of my least favorite ovals in the service, and the truck was pretty tight the whole race. Fortunately, we were able to save tires and make the most of it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you a few times there. Sammy Morrell, Jeff Ramsdell, and they were all kind of giving you a bit of a hard time there on the inside. Looked like you had to kind of drive the outside to block them from getting any closer. But I'll ask you this, too. On that last caution, when that came out and you saw Shearer staying out, did that kind of give you a little bit of a nerve to kind of watch out for what was going to happen next? Or were you just thinking, I'm going to just go right after him and take this one home?
Yeah, I knew that I'd have to make my move as soon as possible, depending on where I'd start there in that last restart. I didn't realize we would only have one green-white checkered until it popped up when I was in the pit lane, so decided to take two. Unfortunately, that was the right call, and I was able to fly past him on the outside. And I'd like to thank Bud for racing me clean and all that. He was pushing up just a little bit, but he didn't take the shot at my quarter panel, so I certainly appreciate that.
Definitely indeed. Nevertheless, with the season title belonging to you, I got to ask you, will we see you back in return for one last fight for that championship again?
Oh, no, I think I'm all right. I wanted to get acclimated with these trucks again before Road to Pro next year, and this was a pretty good place to practice for that. And I certainly appreciate all the folks at the GOAT Racing League for having me this season. And I look forward to seeing what comes next for them, but I think this will be it for me.
Well, Smith, it's always been a pleasure to have you on. When we can see you here, we certainly hope you'll join us back here on Pete's Race TV once again someday. But nevertheless, our best wishes and luck to you on your road to pro, and congratulations taking a championship home.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Smith will end the season on top as the gold standard himself. Ladies and gentlemen, that will about cut it due for your action tonight here at Phoenix Raceway. What a day, what a season it's been. From all of us here at Pizza Race TV, we can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much for tuning in, coming on out. We will see you next time tomorrow night when the green flag flies here on the show.